The Explosher are also called the common cheat bucket. The other cheat bucket are just a cheat bucket. It's a heavyweight slusher. Fire rate 55 frames, so a little bit under 1 second. The buffering like other slushers have, so you are not being out on theoretical max DPS there. Due to the heavy weight and so hard-coded strafe speed, really slow, and one thing how you can make yourself a bit more mobile is swim, jump, slash, swim, jump, slash. That will make your movement a lot faster than just strafing without swimming. However, you will not get free refills while doing that. You haven't noticed that I showed again. The ink refill there is a delay to it, so just swim shot and pop up again, you'll not get any refill whatsoever. Then your refill cycles wisely, and then you'll be fine. And this has exactly 11 shots per ink tank. So what's exactly that number? That's strange, but yeah, it's 11 shots. Or if a bomb involved, then 1, 2, 3, 3. But yeah, try to not bomb and shoot. 3. If you do a bomb, like, pretty much that should be only mouse, because the reason why we call this bucket is a fish matchup, of course. You can hit flyfish with these explosives, mud mouse as well. Yeah, a little more on that later. Although flyfish, I mean, let's talk about that right now. I mean, say this thing there's a flyfish launcher. Well, you can either hit the launchers directly. What you can also do is hit like between the lids of the flyfish, like above the launchers. Then you can even one-shot them. Similar fashion to inkjet or coke charge cannons or crap. And then the paint of this, it's really good. It's not quite enough to actually paint a flipper zone. It's just barely not 75%. You do need 2 shots for that, or right. Paint is really nice as well. So really good for painting fish sticks. Doesn't quite paint up the whole thing, but a really large fraction of it. There might be teammates who appreciate that. Then let's talk about the damage that this deals. Shot itself pierces, deals 125. Pierce here again. Come on. Let's see, the arrived all the way over there. Here. The explosion at the end. That one deals 75. You're hitting both of them at the same time, it's 200 flat. You wanna hit, say, Cohogs for 200 far away, then aim at their feet. That didn't work now. Yeah, it's a bit finicky. Yeah. Aim at the feet of whatever you're trying to hit and you should get the 200 most of the time. Because it's easier at point blank than you're just aiming down. You don't always want to do that, and now when there are multiple hits you can hit, like say you're piercing a crowd and then hitting something at the end for the max damage would be the most effective way to go about it. And yeah, the single target DPS of this of course is really atrociously slow. I don't even want to mention the number, that is how bad it is. What you really want to do with this is hit multiple targets, specifically the things that you're good against. Which is, as I've mentioned, flyfish and also stingers. You are knocking out many pots with one shot, like you can two-shot them usually. And then also the floppy zones, which you're not quite insta-painting, but you're still really good at painting them, and also when they're contested. That is nice. But let's talk about HP bosses. Scrapper shields are 600, cannot quite show that here. You need 3 directs to hard stun that. The scrapper itself, like 1 indirect, if it's the shot itself and not the explosion, is fine. And yeah, otherwise same thing. Hits you can snipe from below. However, the aim is rather tricky to actually get the shot to fall down right in the middle of it. That is exactly what you need to do to with 500 and shots. Yeah, feel free to practice it. Eventually you should get good enough at it that you can somewhat really do it. 4 shots at least. That is still not the end of the world. If you are hitting everything perfectly, it's 3 shots of course. Shots of course take forever, but yeah, it's 7 directs. Rizzler can be one-cycled, but you do need to pre-fire. That is fire up in the air before it opens, and then fire all the rest of your shots at the accurate frame rate. Steel heads you can one-cycle. Again, pre-fire is recommended, especially if you're far away. If you're close, then you should have time to not need the pre-fire. I cannot quite demonstrate it here, but also cannot explain how it is coded exactly, but yes, you are two-shotting them. Not 3 shots like it's listed here. The bullet does explode right on top of it, so you will deal the full 200 pretty much always. Yeah, the one cycle is not easy, it is comparable with rapid blasters. Really with the rapid blaster I'd say, because rapid pro is pretty easy in this game with its new 2-shot now. Water shot is vanilla rapid or range blaster. Then fish sticks, they are pretty hard actually. I've mentioned you can paint the wall, but do not ever claim them with this. Do not claim them. You are gonna have a very bad time. If you have to like actually hit them, do it from the ground. And it's really hard to hit too many of them. Like usually you're gonna hit like one or two of them from most angles, and it's really terrible. But if you stand like at an angle where you're like exactly tangential to it, if that makes any sense, and then aim your shots a little bit inward, then it is actually possible that you can hit 4 of them at the same time. And then with your next shot hit the next 4. So yes, Explosher can actually 2-shot fish sticks. It's really hard and precise, but it's possible. I have never done it before myself, but I have seen a clip just very recently. I've been practicing it in this rotation and been managing to hit a lot of the time with that. It's still nice enough. And usually someone else needs to finish them then. If you're a teammate of an Explosher and the Explosher had fish sticks, then pay attention to what they're leaving there. Like, don't trust them that they're actually killing the thing. Really unlikely. Hey, did I forget any bosses? Okay, mentioned sticks, of course. Yeah, no, I don't think so. Right then, Night Waves. For most Night Waves, this is really underwhelming. Yeah, the most noteworthy one where it's completely broken is of course Mud Mouse. Just like this hits Flyfish, it also hits Mud Mouse. Shots are basically counting as bombs. In order to hit them, you need to aim at the throat exactly. The pierce still works as you would expect it to work, so the golden ones, you're not seeing the throat, but just fire through the coax and you'll usually hit them. Considering that you're knowing where the throat is. It only works from the front, you cannot do it from the back, so you do need to be the open mud mouth. Then it's 3 shots, just like 3 bombs. And you do not really wanna run any eggs for most of the wave. You can spare some ink, you can throw an egg back occasionally, but really just always look for the next mud mouth as the first thing you're doing. Once you've killed the mouth you were on. Also position yourself in such a way that you are likely to already be close to it, whatever it is. That means whenever you are killing one, move back from it towards the middle of the map or a good vantage point. from where you can reach most other gushers. Another wave where Explosher isn't exactly good at, but noteworthy still, is Rush. Due to the pierce, you can just shoot through lines of champs and you should be catching a good amount of them. However, this is really bad at defending itself for obvious reasons. Your teammates, please don't let too many things live that pass through the shots, and they will definitely be passing through it. It's nowhere near perfect filtering. On other night waves, this is usually really weak. I realize you can help with stunning and then the other ways prioritize small fries. Seeking, you can open some gushers that are annoying to hit really nicely with the ability to fire over wells stuff. DPS on the gold itself is really low and you might sometimes not even bother. Because if there are lessers anywhere nearby, then it's much more efficient if you deal with them instead. Watch snatchers and stuff like that. That's a really good thing to do. Mothership, really nothing to say. You're just slow, but you do some range. And you can also cheese the mothership itself when it's sitting on top of basket. Firing like on top of it and let the shot fall down up. But or just fire through it from the bottom, both of them will kill spawning Chinooks. They're getting some eggs that drop right on the basket. Also works for hitting the caviar, as people call it, the bonus Chinooks. Killing the mothership. You have Chinooks active. So this can essentially replace the cheesing special. However, not the DPS of the special though, so I do account for that. No specials are coming out and the DPS of your comp is low, then second repel will still be very late. This XL as well. Yeah, that is all about the Explosher.